The biggest problem with social media for me is we often are incentivized to do the things that are clickbaity or extreme, that don't align with our values. I feel more integral when I am not forced to feed an algorithm.
The algorithm is completely corrupting for content creators. So if you're using social media to find an audience, okay, don't make social media the place your audience has to live. Or you're not going to be your own creator anymore. You're going to be an employee of this weird studio known as like YouTube, Instagram, Inc.
You're making me think about the distinction between attention as a means to an end and attention as the essence of success itself. So maybe once upon a time, when you get your 15 minutes of fame, you say, well, hey, while everyone's paying attention to me, here's a charity that I'm really passionate about, and I like to use my time to direct focus over there. But now it's kind of different. It's attention and success are the same thing. There is no, if I get 1 million views, I can channel that energy to something other than 1 million views. It's if I get 1 million views, I win, period. Doesn't matter if you're watching me because you love me or if it's because you hate me. As long as I get your attention, I win. And that incentivizes a very different type of behavior.
Do the end of the year experiment. I love that. Right? And just see what happens and see what your listeners and readers say. I'm with you on that.
Well, let's do it. We're going to pause social media to the end of the year. We're not wiping ourselves off the face of the earth. What we're attempting to do here is say, maybe we can thrive without that. Because otherwise, is it just vanity metrics? We got over 4 million followers on social media, 200 million views last year, 500 million people saw impressions from The Minimalist. And while that sounds impressive, I don't know whether or not that's impressive or depressive, considering the amount of resources, time, attention, and distraction that goes into spending time and resources on these platforms.
Yeah, this gives us an opportunity to practice what we preach as well. There's an ascetic dimension to this of what can we survive without, but there's also an aesthetic dimension to this, which is how can we expand the space for creativity and possibility? What do we begin to focus on? What new ways of connecting do we find in the absence of all that social media busyness? I don't want to figure out how I can reach more people. I want to figure out how I can reach fewer people more deeply.
Can I add an element to the challenge for your listeners?
Yeah.
For those who feel so inspired, consider joining the Minimalist Experiment with your own social media.